Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be assembling my very first set of Nendoroids while chit-chatting about more Nendoroids and figures I would love to collect, as well as characters that I would love to see get a Nendoroid. In case you missed it in my recent manga haul, I went over the 3 I bought and why. The first one I have here is Miyano Yoshikazu from the anime and manga Sasaki and Miyano, so I'll start with that one. I am so in love with this series. I have lost count of how many times I've watched the anime as well as the movie and read the manga just this year alone. This is to me what a perfect shonen ai story is, and the premise was super cute as well. A fudanshi who caught the attention of his bad boy looking senpai, and the senpai is actually just a cinnamon roll. Like, that was so cute. I love the series very much. I can add more varies there, but I love it very much. I am so obsessed with this series, and I will just continue to consume anything and everything about it. Now that I've unboxed the Miyano Nendoroid, the specific pose of him that I'm trying to build is the one of him smiling with his eyes closed and holding what looks like a BL manga, because that just feels very appropriate for his character. So that's the face that's smiling with his eyes closed. It comes with an additional face, some other items. So that's the BL manga that he's holding that's open, a bag from the bookshop that he buys manga from, and one other item that I now realize is a ginger, or actually wasabi candy, and then other limb attachments to change whatever position or pose the figure is in. Wasabi. I don't know what that kanji is. Wasabi something. Maybe wasabi sauce? That is not wasabi sauce. Like I said earlier, they are actually wasabi candies. And then we also have the stand for the Nendoroid, as well as the whatever that attachment is to make the Nendoroid doll stand on the stand. Wow, that was a lot of stands. But yeah, on with building the figure and back to chit-chatting. The reason why Miyano is by himself is because I bought the Miyano Nendoroid from the Final Ride Stuff sale for about $45 because they had an additional 15% off their regular prices. But when I purchased it, Sasaki was sold out and he never came back in stock. He is still sold out on Crunchyroll store, which is where I was planning to buy it, because the other options I had were buying it from Good Smile. If I buy it from Good Smile, the shipping is $17. That's a lot of money. And I'm not going to pay $17 for shipping. The other option was Amazon. Amazon has it for $79. That's nearly double the price of what I paid for the Miyano figure. Again, I am not doing that. That is ridiculous to me. So I'm just going to wait for Sasaki to come back in stock on the Crunchyroll store. And is it just me, or does Nendoroid start to sound like an STD the longer you say it? No? Okay, I guess that's just me. And I am almost done building the figure, or the Nendoroid at this point. Once I attach the legs, it's a done deal. Look at how cute he is already, just blushing into whatever he is reading in his BL manga. I totally get that. I react the same way when I'm reading BL, so that just makes Miyano a super relatable character. One more step and that's a wrap on building Miyano. Look at him, so adorable. This was actually a pretty easy build and I'm very happy with the way it turned out. I am going to have it on my desk until he is joined by Sasaki and I can put them on my manga shelf. But for now, I'm just going to appreciate how much joy I get from looking at his adorable face daily. Moving on to the other 2 Nendoroids I bought, I have Hua Cheng and Xie Lian from the popular Danmei series, Heaven Official's Blessing. And there are a couple of options for HuaLian figures, but the reason I bought this one specifically was because of the removable clothing. I just thought those were super adorable. They have like the regular Nendoroid doll that has like changeable faces and the clothing is not removable, but for this one, it comes with just the one face for each figure and their clothing is the only thing I think that can be changed. They also have interchangeable limbs, and which you will see when I unbox it and be able to make a comparison between like a Nendoroid like Miyano that I did earlier and this. I don't even know what to call this. It almost feels like a figure, except it has very detachable parts. So you can see this is Hua Cheng, and they've covered his body so you can clothe him. Same thing for Xie Lian, and their clothes are somewhere here. Okay, so that is Xie Lian, and them trying to preserve his dignity. Well, thank you for that. This is a magnetic stand for the figures. Their shoes are actually magnetic and can attach to the stands magnetically, and they don't fall off. That is super cool. I have it turned the wrong way right there, which I figured out much later. But you can see all the different limbs. I like the fact that the steamed bun that is being held in this hand has been bitten into, because that is very, very accurate for Xie Lian's character. Like, why would he have a whole steamed bun? He can't afford it. I'm not even trying to be mean. That's just who he is, and I still love him regardless. And these are his clothes. You can see that he has the bamboo hat as well, which is just such a nice touch. So you have the bamboo hat, his inner clothing, even the sash that goes over his robes, all the bandages that go around his neck and his wrists to cover his cursed seal. And then you have his robes, the inner wear and then the outer one. And that's it for Xie Lian's clothing. And for Hua Cheng, much of the same. You have the magnetic stand, his shoes, and his body that has been covered again for dignity. They don't look terrible if you remove that plastic that's covering their body. And then you have the shoes that attaches to the stand again magnetically. And I have it turned the wrong way still, but I figured that out later. You have a lamp. What do you call these things again? A lantern? Yes, a lantern. And then all of his limbs and his clothes are in the back. I have to take that off. I saw someone refer to Hua Cheng's clothes as Target uniform, and I can't get that out of my head. That was just so wrong. It comes with the eye patch. Again, it's amazing how much detail these things have. You can see his red robes as well. It even comes with the silver chain that he has over his clothes. This is really cool. I can't wait to build it. And I just wanted to get the figure together and figure out how to build them. These ones were a little bit harder to build in comparison to the Miyano Nendoroid. And I just wanted to get through building them and then figure out what pose I wanted them to be in. While I build the Nendoroids for Xie Lian and Hua Cheng, back to chit-chatting about Nendoroids and figures. The ones that I have on my wish list, I would start with anime manga. Definitely Haikyuu. Haikyuu is one of my all-time favorite anime, and all the characters in Haikyuu were so lovable, and nearly all of them got a Nendoroid. I would love to own all of them, but I also realized that will cost a lot of money, so I'll just see what I can own. But if I could, I would love to have all of them. Another series that I would like to own a lot of the figures and Nendoroids of is Jujutsu Kaisen. They have very great or really beautiful character designs, and I know most of us have seen those thirst trap resin statues of Gojo and Geto. Like, come on, no further comments, but those were goddamn beautiful. Another figure is Tokito from Demon Slayer. He is just such an adorable character, and I love his character design. I have so many figures of him on my wish list because I just love his character for some reason that I cannot explain. I would also love to own Mafuyu and Uenoyama from Given. I just love BL couples, and they just look super cute in Nendoroid form. Figures, I would like to own the Nana-K and Nana-O figures, the scale figures. Those are really, really, really beautiful figures. I would love to own those. There's a lot of other figures and Nendoroids I would love to own, but I'll just leave them there for now. And it looks like I am almost done building Xie Lian. Look at how adorable this Nendoroid is with his clothes. Oh my god, he is so cute. I didn't want to say adorable again, so I switched it to cute. And I decided to give him the arm that is holding the steam bun. That is just a very accurate representation of his character. I tried to get him to wear his bamboo hat because I just thought that would be the most apt or accurate way to display him as a figure. But no matter what I did, I could not get that bamboo hat to stay on. I would try to do it another day, but apparently that day was not the day. I ended up giving up on just having him wear it, and I attached his bun back on his hair. But yeah, I am done building him up right now. I tried again to put the hat on. Like I said, it just wasn't working that day, and I gave up on it and put his bun back on. But I did try for as long as I could. Yep, it was not working. And the bun goes back in. Awesome. I guess I am done with building Xie Lian. On to his ghost king, Hua Cheng. Pretty much the same process. I had gotten a little bit better with building the figures at this point, so Hua Cheng's own was much faster than Xie Lian's went, and I did a lot of things off screen because I didn't want to repeat pretty much everything you already saw for while I was building Xie Lian, I mean. And back to more chit-chatting while Hua Cheng gets built. For 𝒻𝓇𝒾𝓃𝒹𝓈 figures and Nendoroids, I think the only ones that have really gotten figures and Nendoroids would be 𝒻𝓇𝒾𝓃𝒹𝓈 because they're the most popular ones. I would like to have one of Lanzhan and Wei Ying from Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. The Year of the Rabbit ones that are available on Crunchyroll store are super cute. And if the reruns of the original ones never come back, that's probably what I'll end up getting, but preferably I would like to get the original ones. And I know that we got releases for 𝓁𝓈 and Xingqiu at some point. I can't remember what year it was now, but if those get re-released, I would love to own them as well. Now for figures that do not currently exist, and I would love to see Nendoroids or figures of. And I hope this doesn't sound too confusing, but basically I'm talking about stuff that I would love to see in the future. I'll start with 𝒻𝓇𝒾𝓃𝒹𝓈 figures since we're already talking about 𝒻𝓇𝒾𝓃. For 7 Seas releases, 𝓁𝓉'𝓈 is my obsession of the year. There was no way I wasn't going to mention that. Imagine if we got Nendoroids or figures of 𝒻𝓈 and HuaLian in 2 versions. So for 𝒻𝓈, you definitely need a version for the actual 𝒻𝓈 after he comes back, and then for Taxianjun when he became a Terra in his past life. For HuaLian, you need one of HuaLian, the Shizun, and then you need one of Xie Lian when he reverted back to a child. That would be super adorable as an Nendoroid. Like, if you are familiar with the series, you can just imagine it already. That would be the most adorable thing ever. Another one from 7 Seas will be Stars of Chaos, Chapeau Long. So I didn't really feel attached to Chonggong as a character just yet, but a figure of his godfather, Gluyun, will be very beautiful. Imagine him with his monocle and his military black robes, or the steam-powered armor. Come on, that is a very amazing, beautiful character design. I would love to see that in a figure because it would just be beautiful. And for short series, these are both from, Peach Flower House. Golden Terrace was my favorite of the year. I would like to see one of Fu Shen and Yan Xiaohan, either in their marriage robes or their military and imperial uniforms, respectively. And lastly, Little Mushroom. Anja as an Nendoroid, either in human form or mushroom form, preferably both. That would be really cute. And a figure of Lu Feng because he has a really pretty character design, and I'm talking about the character design from the manhwa, regardless of what the peanut gallery was saying about how the manhwa was lacking. Like, how the heck can you even say that? Did you actually see the manhwa? They were beautiful. As for anime manga, since we're getting a 𝒻𝓇𝒾𝓃𝒹𝓈 comeback, reruns of the Nendos would be really good. Sawako with a Sadako face, Kazehaya, Chizu, Ryu, and Hayane. We need it. Thank you very much. The other Nendos I would like to see are of series that need to come back. Yona of the Red Dawn. The anime needs to come back with releases of Nendoroids. We need a Nendoroid for all the dragons, Yona, Hack, and I cannot remember the name of the pretty boy that was part of their squad, but he needs one as well. Also, Noragami. Imagine Yato in his tracksuit and scarf on a Nendoroid, and tell me that's not going to be like the cutest thing ever. Yuki and Hiyori will be super cute as well. A Bishamon figure will go absolutely crazy, and it looks like that was a thing at some point, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, look at her character design. That's definitely a figure or a character that you want a figure for. There are so many others that I would love to see, but these are the ones that I wanted to mention. And it looks like that conversation was just in time for me to finish wrapping up the build for Hua Cheng. I am done with the figure, and now I just need to attach him to his plate. I don't know if it's just me, but it looks like the figure for Hua Cheng is just a tad bit smaller than the one for Xie Lian, because it was shorter and it was much harder to pose him to stand with Xie Lian. So this is not a Hua Cheng figure, that is a Songlong figure, because Hua Cheng is taller than his Gaga. Okay, looking good. And last minute I decided to actually go with the limb attachment that had the both of them holding hands, since I already figured out how to build both figures. I thought that would just look perfect, and I ended up attaching it, which you can see very soon. Not here. You can probably tell by now, if you did not know before, you definitely know now that this is a voiceover. But this is what it looked like when I finished building the figures initially, before I decided that I wanted to use the attachment that had the both of them holding hands. And I will show that soon. Not now, apparently. Soon. It's coming. But you can just bask in the beauty of this one first. There we go. There they are. That brings this video to an end. I hope you enjoyed watching the video or listening to me chat about Nendoroids and figures. Are there any Nendoroids or figures you would love to collect that don't already exist? I'd love to hear about them in the comments. And whatever day you find yourself watching this, make it a great one, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!